Ron Hopwood here at Hopwood Cellars Winery and William Rose Distillery, and I'm from the Indianapolis area. I'm a true wine lover. I don't want to eat chicken every night. I don't want the same wine every night. I continually drink different wines all the time. One day I might have a sweet wine, the next day I may have a dry wine. And here at Hopwood, we're kind of in this tri-county area here, to where the Indianapolis area is usually sweeter. So we have excellent sweet wines for those folks. But Zionsville and Carmel is a drier community. So we have the best dry wines for those folks. So we're kind of caught in between those two tasters there. So that's why we have the best dry reds, big dry reds. Matter of fact, to tote my own wheel a little bit on that, we have the 2019 best Cabernet in the country. The American Wine Society, 7,000 members chose, they had thousands of entries. They chose our Cabernet Sauvignon, our Itis Written is the name of it, as the best Cab in the country. Beautiful wine. We have 3 Strauss collections, big dry reds, and then we have your everyday dry reds as well, and they have taken numerous awards, such as this one here is a Cabernet Sauvignon. It took 5 gold medals. 5 gold just in the last year and a half or so. Nice wines. But then we also submit our sweeter wines and our mid-of-the-road wines as well. They've all taken medals. And so delicious wines all across the board. So that's why it's wonderful when groups of people come in here. Everyone in that group can find something they like. All the way from the dry to the sweet person. They're all happy. On the other side of this wall, up high, are their medals. And we have probably about 117. I think we just went over 120 medals just in the last few years, and we have several trophies up there as well. We have one that just last weekend in Monterey, California, took the Best of Show. The Best of Show. That's only one trophy for the entire competition, and out of the entire competition, it was our Moy de Quin, and that's another one of the Strauss collections, the big dry red there, Best of Show. That one just won. So yeah, we have lots of trophies there. And of course, we try to remind everybody, it's not so much that we're trying to be showy or anything of that sort. The thing that we like about the medals and that the consumer likes about it is it just shows that, you know what, there are other taste buds out there that really appreciate that as well. So you want to try it. Nobody wants to try a wine that didn't win anything. All our taste buds are different. Yes, there's no doubt about it. Yet we're all very similar, if that makes sense. That's the two sides of the spectrum there. We're all so different, yet we're all very similar. And that's why most of our foods are all very similar in a sense, because our taste buds are all the same. But of course, it all is based off of your experiences in life. That's the change. Our taste buds are the same. We all have the sweet, the sour, the salty, the umami, and the bitter. We all have that. And that's only part of the tasting. The other part, that 70% of tasting wine, is all right through the brain, the mind, the olfactory senses. And that's all based off of your experiences in life. It has everything to do with the weather outside, what you've eaten, what you haven't eaten. It has everything to do with the mood you're in. All comes into play. Experiences in life is everything. Oh man, this is just a hobby gone wild is what it is. As almost every winery started in their basement or their garage. Almost every single one of them. And that's exactly the same thing for us. We started in our basement and we moved it up into the kitchen, moved it into the living room, the family room, moved it everywhere, and eventually we had to move it out of the house. And that's where you decide to make the decision to go ahead and make a business out of it. So I've been making wines for 27 years. But like I said, just a hobby. Now, of course, in the last, probably 12, 14 years, we've been here for 9 years. But for the last 12 or 14 years, the hobby's gone. This is not a hobby anymore. This is a business. We're here to make the finest glass of wine for the consumer here. Our single varietals are named what they are. Cabernet Sauvignon, Chardonnay, Merlots. The other ones, if we do any type of a blend, then we kind of find something, elegant, if you will. Now, like take the Sweet Lila. That one there clearly says that's a sweet wine. those folks there, they want to see that word sweet there, because they know exactly. That way they don't make a mistake and grab a dry bottle. When they see it on the shelf, so I'll take a bottle of Sweet Lilac because I'm a sweet fan. So we try to cater to the consumer in that part there. Now my Strauss collection, I have one that's really, really cool. Very few people know this. I've had a lot of designers come in here and design my label, and they always would put pictures of me or my dogs or animals and things of that sort on it. And I'd be like, no, I don't want it like that. Or they put pictures of my kids on there. I'd be like, no, I don't want it like that, because people outside the area don't know any of that. So that's where I did want to put my son's name in there somehow. And his name was Quinn. And we have a wine named Moy de Quinn. When he was younger, he'd always run through the hall and he'd always say, "This is me, Quinn." And of course, my daughter, Sage, would always go run through and say, This is me, Sage." And so that's why I came up with Moy de Quinn, which means, me of Quinn. So it's a remembrance of what they used to say when they were younger. I love that. And then on the label, it has a picture of the house that he was born in. The Petit Lot is actually his birth date. And then, of course, it's called the Strauss Collection. The Strauss Collection, a very classy, big, strong name. That's his middle name. So I did bring the family, the children into it without making it sound like it's a generic name. I mean, after all, it's a $52 bottle of wine. We don't want to call it something generic. We want to have that fine, strong name, Strauss Collection. We have the It Is Written. Now, the It Is Written is the other Strauss Collection. That's just, I've always said my entire life that if I ever got a boat, I was going to call it It Is Written. Well, I never got the boat, but I did get the wine, and that's why we have the It Is Written. The It Is Written is the one that took the best cab in the country right there. It's beautiful wine. I don't know, it's just, I love that name there. I just try to find names that have some type of a meaning there as well to me, and to where the consumer can kind of relate as well. Not just one side over the other. I don't want to name something that's just for me and my family that no one else knows. We want them to be able to relate to it, if that makes sense. And that's where the Moy de Quinn, when I tell people about that, of course they love that. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome, because I didn't even see it when I first looked at it. It looked like a very classy bottle, but it has a family heirloom inside of it. That's kind of cool. Oh gosh, I tell you, party buses, they want entertainment. They're out having a good time, and that's what we want to deliver. We deliver entertainment in a very knowledgeable and elegant way, if you will. They come in, and sometimes they want to know a lot of information about wine. Our staff is professional. They know wine. They can answer all those questions. But then you also find out that some parties, sometimes the buses are just here for fun. So then you have to then put on your other hat, and you have to entertain that situation as well. So again, even with the party, we make sure that we greet them within 2 seconds of coming in that door. Most parties come in and they're very anxious, and that's why you just have to kind of direct them, pull them on in, let them know. You always wait till everybody gets here. Nobody wants to hear the wine steward repeat themselves. You don't want to repeat yourself. That's why you wait till the whole entire bus gets in. You gather everybody around, you gather their attention, and then you explain what they're able to do here at the winery. For the best experience, that's what you want to tell them. Well, it's going to be your best experience, because if you just sometimes if the buses just come in and they just wander, they kind of lose the flair of the place. They want you to guide them. Tell me, what can we do here? What are you about, Hopwood? And that's why we guide them in, and we let them know what they can do. And then we let them have their freedom after that. Once we explain, how things go, then you let them have a good time. Yeah, we love the buses here. We enjoy them. We always try to relate with them. We want to get their photos. We get group photos with everybody. And of course, that's also a good remembrance of them getting a photo of Hopwood here as well, take home with them. And of course, we always try to encourage that they take a bottle of wine on that bus. Open that up. We'll open it up for them so that way they can ride around on the bus with that bottle of wine of Hopwood to the next destination or something like that. Yeah, we love them.
Hi, I'm Rob Zajac, owner of TopShelf Tours. If you like this winery, check out our website, topshelf.tours, to schedule a day of wine tastings with all your friends at wineries just like this one.